You read the title. I'm going to rank every single album by the best band that has ever existed. Avenged Sevenfold. They've been my favorite band since 2009. And yeah, I'm a big fanboy. This is why we only have four tiers: Los Bravitos, excellent, good, and Monster Energy Drink Pacific Punch. You will understand why I decided to label that. Alright, let's get started. These albums are organized in a chronological order. So let's get started. The first one is Sounding the Seventh Trumpet, 2001. When you first listen to Avenged Sevenfold, you usually don't start from this album. And it's a weird experience because it sounds completely different from the first song you've ever listened by the band. It grows on you. It grows on you. And it's funny because this one, I've been a big fan since day one. Since of course, when I decided to give them a chance and listen to their whole discography, when I listened to this album, I didn't feel like I was making an effort to like it. My favorite tracks are Turn the Other Way, Tim and the Rapture, of course, amazing intro, and Darkness Surrounding, An Epic of Time Wasted. What else? Shattered by Broken Dreams, it's a good song. Anyway, this album is full of hidden gems. Of course, they're not as good as the other albums on the discography, but I think it's pretty good. Subjectively, not objectively, of course. The whole album, when it comes to drumming, it's a big improvisation, according to M Shadows. I'm not a drummer, so everything sounds impressive to me. Now, moving forward to 2003, Waking the Fallen. Man, I can't stress enough when I say that this album has aged like fine wine. It's amazing. It's amazing. These guys recorded this one when they were like, I don't know, 21, 22. And it aged gracefully. I have nothing to say about this album. It's a joyride from start to finish. I and I love Reminiscence, Chapter 4, Second Heartbeat. I would say that Second Heartbeat is definitely my favorite song by this album, alongside Reminiscence. But everything else, I don't know, man, just amazing, amazing from start to finish. The ballads are great. I Won't See You Tonight, Clairvoyant Disease. Oh, I could talk about this album for hours, but the video would be too lengthy. So, Los Bravitos, definitely. All right, moving forward to 2005, City of Evil. City of Evil, it's wacky, it's insane. The guitars don't stop for a second. The drumming is crazy. Everything about this album sounds over the top in a good way. Um, my favorite track is from this album too. It was the first track that I've ever listened by them. No, it wasn't. It was not the first track that I listened to. It was the first track that I liked. The first track that I listened by Avenged was Peace and the Harlot, and I thought it was horrible. But the track that convinced me to listen to them was Trashed and Scattered, and it was the live version from that DVD, All Excess, something like this, All Excess, In Excess. I don't remember now, but it is wonderful. This album features the band's best guitar work. No, actually, I don't know. One of. It's one of my favorite albums as well. Los Bravitos. Los Bravitos. Well, now it's time to talk about the self-titled album. I have strong opinions on this one. So, in my opinion, this is people like to say that this Life Is But a Dream is their most experimental album to date, but I think this one was the first experimental album that they put out because it sounds weird. It doesn't sound like a traditional metal album. It's a good gateway record for people who are getting into metal. But it's at the same time, I don't know. It's too sugary. It's too sugary. I would say that this is the Rav's album, and all his contributions are wonderful here. The fact that he came up with A Little Piece of Heaven all by himself is insane, and a bunch of other tracks. The Rev was a starting point for a lot of these tracks, and it is a really bold album. It sounds great. It sounds really nostalgic for me, but it didn't age quite well because some songs are just weird. I do know all the lyrics uh, to these songs, but I don't know, man. Oof. Where was I? I'm sorry, got distracted by the light here. Accidentally hit the cable. Again, I feel like some of the songs here are weird. Like Unbound. Unbound didn't age quite well for me. When I was a young teen, it sounded fantastic, wonderful. But nowadays, ooh, it's just too sugary, too sugary. Lost. Lost is unusually good and interesting. It sounds like an anime intro track. It sounds too happy. The ending guitar solo, it's wonderful, but it's still weird. It gives me a weird feeling. And this album marks a major shift in the band writing style. So they focused more on groove rather than doing some wacky shit on guitar. And one of my favorite tracks by the band is Afterlife. It's wonderful, start to finish. Just an amazing, brilliant guitar solo by Sinister Gates. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, but this one I'm gonna have to mark as Monster Energy Drink Pacific Punch. Why? I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna crap on this album. I'm not gonna say that it's awful or anything. It's a good album, but like I said, it's too sugary. I don't like Monster Energy Drink Pacific Punch because it's too sugary. It actually tastes awful. But it's just an analogy. This album is not awful. Avenged Sevenfold don't have bad albums. Moving forward to 2010, here comes a bittersweet one, Nightmare. It marks the somber era of the band in which the Raph passed away. And that was really hard for me as a young teen. I really looked up. To these guys, and it was, I don't know, it was just really weird. I felt terrible when everything went down. But this is the album that brought me closer to a bunch of friends that I made over the internet. We kind of grew together because of this album, because we were a part of a community on a social media that was only popular here in Brazil. So yeah, I do have lots of friends because of this album. It's a better version of the self-titled album. I feel like it's not too sugary. There are sugary moments, such as in Welcome to the Family's chorus, and some parts here and there. But overall, this album is brilliant. It's really emotional. I would say that there are lots of great B-sides that have never been played live, and I wish they were, such as Tonight the World Dies, Victim, Natural Born Killer, and the main singles are fantastic as well. The best tracks on this album are Save Me and Buried Alive, for sure, and alongside the deep cuts that I mentioned. Not a big fan of Welcome to the Family and Dangerline, though. I was when they came out, but I got sick of them quite quick. Now moving forward to 2013, Avenged Sevenfold decided they were not going to stick with Mike Portnoy because they didn't want that title to follow them around. They didn't want to be Avenged Sevenfold feat Mike Portnoy. They wanted to start over with a new guy. I understand that, but I don't know, it was weird. Anyway, Hail to the King. This album is like a tribute to the bands that they grew up listening to, and they had a goal with this album, which was to write a big hit. And they did it. I think perhaps it's their greatest commercial success, and I don't know. I love this album. I love this album since the start. It wasn't. A lot of people criticized this one back in the day. This is the album that brought a lot of new fans to the fan base, but it alienated a lot of them because people were complaining that it sounded too much in the realm of their inspirations, which is kind of true. You can see that This Means War sounds like Sabatro, Heretic sounds like Symphony of Destruction, Shepherd of Fire sounds like Inner Sandman 2.0. There are too many resemblances here. Coming Home sounds like an Iron Maiden track, but overall I think it's a great album. There's only one track that I don't like, which is Requiem. It's awful, terrible song. I don't know. Horrible. Everything about that song is... But would I call it excellent? Like I told you, I'm a fanboy, so... No, it's a good album. It's a good album. Let's be honest here. Let's not overuse the top two spots. Diamonds in the Rough. I see Diamonds in the Rough here. But Diamonds in the Rough came out in 2008, 2009, maybe a year after the self-titled album, alongside the Live in the LBC DVD. But it has been re-released with 4 brand new tracks from the Nightmare era and Hail to the King. So I'm going to talk about this one after the stage. 2016, The Stage. Formerly known as Voltaic Ocean's December 9th. Only the OGs will understand this reference. Anyway, in my opinion, this is the best Avenged Sevenfold album. I was not expecting it to sound as huge as it did. I, man, I remember going to work when they released the title track, and I, I had no words to express how happy I was by listening to that track. It was just mesmerizing. Every single detail on the song, the stage, is insane. That is an insane track from start to finish. The tapping session from the beginning all the way to the acoustic outro. Jesus Christ, man. I'm at a loss for words when it comes to talking about this one. And not only that, when they were about to release this album, they tricked their former record label by announcing on a podcast with Chris Jericho that it would come out at December 9th, and that it would be called Voltaic Oceans. And then they played a concert in a building that I don't remember where it was, but one of the backing vocal sessions done by Zachy V, he announced it again when they were playing the stage. He said Voltaic Oceans December 9th. So what did their former record label do? They decided to release a greatest hits album in December because they wanted to hinder the sales of that album. So what did Avenged do? They took a big risk here. They decided to make this a surprise album. So in late October, boom, they just released the album. It was the best thing that a fan could ask for because I don't know, for me, it's their best work to date. I have no complaints about it. Every single song here is fantastic. The track that I like the least is the last one, Exist, and it's still a behemoth of a track. That's for you to have an idea. And the deep cuts here are so amazing. Higher, Fermi Paradox, man. Those guitar solos, it's such a weird song, but so amazing. Sunny Disposition. Sunny Disposition takes the prize here. It's one of the most underrated Avenged Sevenfold songs of all time. And at the same time, one of their best in their whole catalog. Paradigm, Jesus, Angels, Roman Sky, even the slow songs, they kind of don't follow the traditional style Avenged Sevenfold is well known for doing when it comes to ballads. I don't know, everything sounds fantastic here. It's my favorite album. So, that's the winner here. Now moving forward to Diamonds in the Rough. Listen, man, most of these B-sides, they are from the self-titled era. The ones that came out during the Nightmare era, I don't even remember. Is 4 a.m. part of it? 4 a.m. is good. Lost It All is good. St. James I'm not a big fan of. Set Me Free is wonderful. Now talking about the ones from the self-titled era, the lyrics are pretty bad. Are pretty cringe. But I do like Dancing Dead, Demons, Crossroads a lot. Girl, I know I like the instrumentals because the lyrics are blah. Until the end, I like it. And the fight is... I like that. I am... Nostalgia plays a big factor here. If I play all these songs right now, I'm going to be able to sing them at the top of my lungs joyfully. But I gotta admit, they're not good. So, Monster Energy Drink, Pacific Punch. Now, I wanna feel powerful. I'm about to say the words that can make a man feel powerful. About Life is But a Dream. Which is, I got this on vinyl. I've got this on vinyl. I have no words for this album. I know it sounds weird. I know that it alienated a lot of people. A lot of people call this album shit. A lot of people didn't understand. Some people did understand but still hated it. But to me, listening to this album is such a trippy experience. It is an album meant to be listened front to back. You're not supposed to click on these songs randomly. You can do that and you can find some amusement while doing that, but it doesn't hit the same as listening to the whole thing from start to finish. The album is based on the absurdist philosophy of Albert Camus. It talks a lot about mortality and the absurd of life. I know that they were under the influence when they wrote these songs, but Jesus Christ, they are so beautifully crafted. I have no words. To me, this album is worthy of being Los Bravitos, but like I told you guys, I don't want to overuse the top of the food chain. So I'm going to place it here slightly above Nightmare. And that's it. I hope you liked it.